This is Deepa from deepabarrar.com, and you're listening to the Deep Beauty Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Deep Beauty Podcast. I'm your host, Deepa Barrar, and I'm so excited to have you here for the relaunch of the Deep Beauty Podcast. So for those of you that have been listening, thank you so much for all of your support along the way. Today, I'm going to explain what exactly is going on behind this relaunch, what to expect, and the kind of guests that I'm going to be featuring on this podcast. And yeah, just everything that's been going on. So I'm really excited, like I said, to have you guys here and to get this podcast started again. So back in 2018 is when I first started this podcast. And I had this idea that I wanted to feature guests that I found inspirational, that were mostly from the South Asian community, but not exclusively South Asian. So basically, why I wanted to do this was because of my journey with alopecia, and that I had gone through something in my life, the alopecia, and come out the other side. And I wanted to, through my videos, through my posts, through my blog posts, I wanted to share exactly how I did it. And I wanted to kind of give that information to people so that they can go ahead and implement that in their lives and find their way out of that same thing. So my idea for the podcast then was to share stories from other people that had gone through something in their life, some sort of trial or tribulation in their life, had figured out a way out of it, and wanted to share their story and how they found their way out, so that if somebody was listening and going through the same thing, they could implement those tactics and then find their way out of that situation as well, if they resonated with that particular story or that particular guest. So that was the idea behind the whole podcast. That's why it started. And it was amazing. I got to feature some pretty incredible guests on this show. And I really loved the direction that it was going in. But I felt like there was kind of like two different parallels going on in my life. Everything online with my social media, with my YouTube channel, with my blog was all about, it was starting to become more and more about hair growth, which is not what I originally started with. When I first started social media, I started an account to help people with makeup and hair tutorials. That's what I've been in the makeup beauty profession for 15 years now. And I just wanted to help people with their own makeup and hair styling. So that's why I started social media in the first place. But then when I went through the journey of alopecia, it started to slowly change, because I shared my story at first, and then people wanted to know more. They wanted to know, how did you regrow your hair? And then it was just like more. I want more information. And it just started to become so much more important to me. You could see, if you go back on my channel, that I kind of like wavered in between sharing hair growth help as well as sharing makeup tutorials. And I don't feel like the two really mixed. It kind of confused a lot of people. Some people that were there for makeup didn't really care so much for the hair growth, and people that were there for the hair growth didn't really care so much for the makeup. So I started to feel this like pull in two different directions, because for me, my heart was like, I wanted to help people. Regardless of what it was, I just have always felt in my heart that I was meant to help people with something in their life. So that's why I started that podcast. And so along the way, like I said, I kind of felt two shifts, like two parallels happening in my life. And it was kind of like, I came to this moment where it's like, okay, you're going to have to pick one road. You can't keep going down both roads. First of all, it's a lot of work. Secondly, it's mentally exhausting. And third, I just felt like I was diluting helping people, if that makes any sense. And that was when I decided that my message of hair growth is the direction that I wanted to go in. And I really just, to be honest with you, recently tripled down on this message because of my hormonal hair loss that I just dealt with, as well as the recurrence of the alopecia. And if you guys want to know more about that, you can check out the last video that I posted. I'm going to link it down in the description notes for you guys. yeah, so I just basically tripled down on that message. Going through it again just really hit home for me. And it's not just about hair loss, because as you guys have seen through my messaging, that it really is about something going on inside of your body, an imbalance going on in your body, and that hair loss is actually a symptom of that. So the focus of everything, the focus of my message, the focus of what I want everyone to take home is that you want to really triple down on healing your body so that you can regrow your hair. Not only to regrow your hair so that you can prevent future fallout from recurring as well. So that's why I wanted to go through a rebrand with the podcast. I love like I said, the guests that I've had on here have been amazing, but I just want to provide even more hair growth support for you guys. So I am going to be featuring a lot of stories from the hair growth community and the hair loss community. I use the term hair growth because I feel like it resonates more with what my message is about, which is balance, like healing your body. And also too, I like to be more positive. I don't like to use the term hair loss. To me, that's like the death of something. And I just like to be, if you know me by now, I'm just more of a positive person. So that's why I really say hair growth all the time, because I just want to help people kind of wrap their head around the fact that yes, you can grow your hair. You can absolutely regrow your hair. It just takes time. It just takes figuring out what's going on inside of your body. It just takes healing, but it is absolutely possible. So I don't want to get too far off on a tangent, but the people that I'm going to be featuring on this podcast are going to be from the hair growth community, are going to be people that talk a lot about wellness. I want to have wellness experts on there. I want to have autoimmune experts on. I want to have hormonal experts on. I have so many big dreams for this podcast, and I cannot wait to help you guys further. And if you guys have not subscribed already, please do subscribe to this podcast. Please leave me a review, because it really helps people that need to find this podcast find it. And I have all the links for any resources that you guys need to help you with your hair growth journeys on my website, and that's in the show notes as well. But if you have any people that you feel like would be a great expert on this podcast, please let me know. You can DM me on Instagram at Deepa Brar and just let me know. Yeah, like I said, I have so many dreams for this podcast. For now, you can expect to see an episode once a week. So it's going to be on the podcast, which you can find on iTunes, on Google Podcasts. And then I'm also going to be posting the video on YouTube. And I'm doing that because for me personally, I like to watch podcasts. And I was talking to some of my friends and they said the same thing. So if you like to listen to it on your walks, that's totally cool. I do that as well. But sometimes I like to sit down and I like to look and see the guests and stuff. So that is the reason why I'm going to be posting the video portion as well on YouTube. So I hope you guys really enjoy this new direction that this podcast is going into. And yeah, I can't wait to share more with you. So I'll see you guys soon.